Hello, this is SJ Talks from Life coming back at you in another video. You're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you. Transracial adoptions is what I want to talk about. Transracial adoptions. It's a couple of families on here on YouTube that I really enjoy watching. There's It's Holding It Down and the Schroller family. They popped up in my algorithm one day, and I've just been hooked ever since. I think the first thing I seen was a TikTok. I think or a YouTube short. I think the YouTube short was the first thing I seen, and it piqued my curiosity, and I clicked on the channel. I watch all kinds of content here on YouTube. I don't just watch uh what's going on between black people or whatever. Um, Sometimes I watch other stuff to get away from the drama. I watch all kinds of content on here, all kinds of content on here. Um, you'd be surprised at some of the stuff I watch on here. I watch all kinds of content. I like to think I'm a pretty open minded person for the most part. Um, but this family popped up in my recommendations. And well, I first started watching. I think it was a YouTube short, and then I clicked on the um channel, and I really, 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 this family really, really warms my heart. Um, I want to talk about them first. Now I gotta admit, I gotta be honest. I gotta keep it 100 because I'm a little pro-black. Um, I don't know. Can you be a little pro-black? Is there such thing as being a little pro-black? I'm pro people, but I'm more. Of course, I'm going to be more partial towards my race because I'm black. So I'm going to be more interested in more uh concerned about what's going on with in my race of people, and I'm gonna advocate of wanting what's best for my people over everybody else, other races of people. That mean, but at the end of the day, I love everybody, across the board. But I'm more interested in what's going on with my people because I'm one of my people. I'm black myself. Any, anywho, um, now I gotta be honest. I gotta keep it 100. That's what I like to keep it 100 on my channel. I was feeling some type of way about white people adopting black children. I have a lot of concerns, and I'm not saying I still don't have some concerns about white people adopting black children. And one of those concerns was the black child growing up having a false sense of reality because they're being raised by two loving white parents. They might have the false perception, um, false sense of reality, and thinking that all white people are just like their parents, and then they go out into the world ill prepared of because every black child has to be prepared to de- to navigate in a racist world. And because let's face facts, America's still a very racist country. We're dealing with a lot of systematic racism, um, all aspects. And as a black person, we gotta know how to move out here. Because of we still have a lot of racism in this country. As a black person, you got to know how to move out here, and you got to know what to expect. Not that you're just gonna go looking for racism. No, that's not what I'm saying. But you just got to know how to move as a black person because we can't move the same way that white people move. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's keep it 100. And sometimes a black child being raised with white parents, they may be ill equipped to navigate through um, being a black man or a woman living in a racist society. And one of my concerns with the white parents are not because they're white and they don't experience racism. How can they possibly teach that black child and educate that black child about racism and prepare that child for some of the obstacles they may encounter throughout their life and educate them on how to navigate. Now, I'm not saying I had all that growing up, but um, you know, I'm not saying I was 100% prepared myself, um, or nothing like that. But you know, that was one of my concerns about white parents. Another concern was the intentions. What are they? The question pops up in your mind as a black person. What is the intentions? Why do they want to adopt this black child? What is the intentions? What is their intentions? Not all white people are racist. Some white people are really, good Christian white people that have good intentions. You know, I've had white people help me. I've had white. I got white friends. I've had white friends. I've had white people help me before black people. So I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that they're all racist because they're not. There's really some kind white people in the world. They're kind-hearted. They're Christian. Um, and not all white people are the same. I kind of hate it when black people put all white people in a box and say that they're all the same. They're really not all the same. Not everybody is all or nothing. I hate stereotypes. Not everybody is all or nothing. It's all about the content of the character. I try to when I meet a person, I want to get to know them as a person and I try to judge them by the content of their character. I've had some bad experiences with white women, but I've also had some good experiences with white women as well. So I try to judge a person by the content of their character, not by their race. Or and that's what people should do instead of just putting people in boxes and stereotyping people. I know there's a terrible history here in the United States between black and white people, and that it's a black cloud, racist cloud that's hanging over everybody's head and or whatever. But there are some really nice, genuine, kind-hearted white people in the world. There really are, and not all white people. And so that was one of my concerns was what is their intentions? Why they want this? Why they want to adopt this black child? What's up with that? You know what I mean? You kind of suspicious. Let me know in the comment section if you're a black person and you had some of those same concerns. Um, Another one of my concerns was culture. Are they going to teach this child about her culture? They're going to educate on her culture, or they're going to just keep her around bunch of white people and not teach her anything, and she grows up not knowing anything about the black culture. And so that was one of my concerns as well. Um, but this family here, I really, really enjoy watching this family. They really, really warm my heart, and they have been. Now, I'm not saying this. I'm not talking about all white people that adopt black children. I'm talking about this particular family here. Um, they they are really good about. I watched quite a few of their videos, and they've done a lot of they've done some Q&As, and they're really good about um they exposing her to culture. Culture. They travel with her. They take her to different places. They're teaching her about culture. Um, they've done what they call open adoption. Open adoption is used to be years ago, back in the day, when you adopted a child, the adoption records were sealed, and the child would grow up basically without not knowing who their biological parent is. They would kind of have to go get older and then search for the biological parent. But um, they nowadays they allow what they call an open adoption, and so they she gets the opportunity to visit with her mother. I'm assuming this picture here on the right is with her mother. She knows who her birth mother is. She's met with her birth mother. As you can see here on the picture on the left, they've exposed her to other family members on her mother's side. Not sure what the situation is with her biological father. They really haven't really spoke about. They say they don't want to talk about too much because of privacy, and I understand that. But I'm kind of curious about what's going on with the biological father. We can probably take a wild guess on that. I'm not sure about the situation as to why the mother felt it was best to give her up for adoption. It really is not in black people's best interest to put their child into the foster care system because most black children don't get placed and they wind up bouncing from one foster home to another. And this is how they they when they said that they did a Q and A, and they said that when they decided to be foster parents, they didn't specify a race. They didn't put down a specific race. They just said any child. And so she came to them, and they loved her so much they decided to adopt her. You know, I guess after so long, if the child's been in the system for so long or whatever, and I guess at some point they give the foster parent the opportunity to adopt. So she started out as a foster child, and they um um eventually wound up adopting her. But they exposed her to her mother. She knows they have open adoption. She knows who her mom is. She's been around her other family members, as you see in this other picture. So I think they're really, really good at that, and they talk to her about her culture. They say as she gets older, they plan on teaching her more about her culture. They take her on vacations. They went to Mexico, and they teach her about other cultures. So she's gonna grow up being a really well-rounded child, and the love that the love that they display towards this child, and the mama knows how to do the baby's hair, because that's another concern, like a lot of times with even with biracial children, sometimes the mama don't know how to do the hair, but the mama, the mother knows how to do the hair. She know how to do better hair better than me. And shoot, they give it to me. I probably wouldn't know what to do with her. So I mean, she does an excellent job fixing her hair. I mean, you have to go to the Schroeder family. You have to go to watch the channel. But I'm really impressed by all the love that they give this child. They give this child so much love, and the child looks happy. She looks like she's very happy. And I'm assuming that behind the scenes as well, because this child really feels safe with them. She feels safe with them. She seems really happy with them. And God created us all. And you know, sometimes things happen for a reason. Because a lot of times when black children get placed in the foster system, they're stuck in the system. And a lot of black people like to talk mess about white people adopting black children. But the question is how many black children have you adopted? That's a good question. Most black people do not adopt black children. And I mean, most black people have their own biological children. Okay, and most black children do not. Statistically, black children get stuck in the foster care system. Sometimes if a white family don't come along and adopt them, they don't get adopted out because black people typically don't adopt black children. Black people like to complain, but why isn't more black people coming forth and adopting black children? You know? And you know what, at the end of the day, I'd rather see a black child in a loving family with two loving white people than to have them stuck in the foster care system being bounced from one foster home to the next. And I've heard horror stories from people that have been in the foster care system and sometimes they've been sexually abused. You know, some of these people in it for the money, they doing it for the wrong reasons. And sometimes these children get abused in the system and they go through a lot. And once they get to be adult, to grow up into an adult, they're so traumatized, and it's really sad, you know. And that's what happens with a lot of black children. A lot of black children get stuck in the system, and they get bounced from one foster home to the next. And some of those homes, they're being abused because unfortunately not everybody has the right intention. Everybody is not fostering for the right reasons. You got some loving foster parents out there, but not everybody. I had thought about it, believe it or not. I had thought about it doing it at one time because there's such a huge age gap between my sons and my oldest. There's a 10-year age gap between my sons, and my oldest son was, by the time my youngest son was 8 years old, my oldest son was 18. So I said it would be nice for him to have somebody closer to his age to play with and stuff like that. I mean, but I already had my hands full as a single mother. I didn't see how I would be able to foster, and then I was afraid that I would get so attached to the child that, and then the child leaves, and then I'm a worry wart and all this kind of. I didn't think I would be able to handle it emotionally, and I didn't know that. I didn't think that I would be able to be being a single mother. I figured it would be kind of difficult for me to do it. So it was just, something that I thought about, but I said I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. But yeah, um, a lot of people get into it for the wrong reasons. I know a lady that has done foster care, a black lady that I used to work with that I've known her a lot of years, that has done foster care, and she's a blessed foster mother. But you got some people that have loving intentions and they do it for the right reasons, but you got some people that get into it for the wrong reasons, and they wind up abusing the children, and um they don't have the right intentions. It's really sad. So I'd rather see a black child being placed in a loving home with white parents, a stable, loving home with white parents, than to be stuck in the foster care system, being bounced from one place. And that little girl is adorable. She is so adorable. Oh my goodness. I'm just hooked on that channel. And I'm not, as like I said, they don't reveal a whole lot because of privacy, but I'm not clear as to why the mother felt like maybe she was young when she had her, and I don't know, but she knows who her birth mom is, and they expose, and I'm really really impressed by that. And they expose her to her mother and her family and everything. So I'm really really impressed by that. So yeah, I'm really impressed by this family, and they show her so much. They shower her with so much love, and they seem like a really blessed couple. Now holding it down. This video is gonna be a little long. Kimberly, I think is what her name is. I couldn't find her any pictures of on Google Images for some reason. She's got a big enough YouTube channel. So I had to screenshot her video anyway. It's a black mother. She gets a lot of flack. A black mother that adopted two white children. This video's got over 1 million views on it. Why did you adopt these white kids? And she's explaining the reason why she adopted the white children. Because she was also a foster parent. She was also a foster parent, and the mother, something was going on with the mom, you know, and she lost custody of the daughter. Okay, and the daughter was placed with her, and okay, in a while, after that, the mother got pregnant again with the brother. The little girl and the little boy are biological siblings. And they placed a little boy with her. Um, and she decided to adopt both of them so they wouldn't be separated in the system, so she could keep them together. But she, like the Shorter family, she was fostering at first. They were her foster children, and she decided to adopt them because she wanted them to be together. They're siblings, so she wanted them to be together. And so, but she gets a lot of flack from black people. Black people are really, really upset with her. And at first, when I first started watching it, I felt some type of way too. I'm like, okay, all these black children out here that need she adopts white kids, but on this video right here, she explains why she adopted the white children, and like she was fostering, and as like the Shorter family, she didn't put on specify any specific race, and I think, hey, God, I think maybe God placed the children with her for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. God probably placed the children with her for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. And but black people are really, really upset. They're really, really upset with her because they felt like she should have adopted some um some black kids. And this video right here, they get the children are talking about, they get a lot of questions from people at school and saying, why do you have a black mom? And um she gets a lot of flack. She gets a lot of flack from both sides. She gets a lot of flack from black people and from white people. White people are typically Some of the white people are typically suspicious because they always think we up to no good. It's these some of these white racist white people. They always think we up to no good, and so so they be thinking we up to no good, so they get suspicious. Hey, why do you have these white kids? And the baby said that at school they said, well, are you kidnapped? Asking her if she kidnapped and all this kind of stuff. It kind of shocked me because I didn't think they allowed black people to adopt white kids. You know, I didn't think they allowed, but she got them when they were babies, and so I was kind of shocked at first because I didn't think they let black people have white kids. So, but a lot of people, black people, are not happy with her because they think that she should have adopted black children. But that is how she tells the story in this video here as to why she winded up with the white children. They kind of fell into her lap, and so she tells the story. I mean, I would highly encourage you to go there and to that video and check it out. And she explains, um, why she winded up with the white children. But the children, they get lots of questions at school and everything. I'd rather see, once again, I'd rather see children in a loving home. Now, she's a single parent, but I'd rather see a child, whether they be black or white, in a loving, stable home than to see the child being bounced from one foster home to the next. I'm telling you, I've heard some horror stories from people that have been in the foster care system, and it's not pretty. I have a friend, and he's like a brother to me, that he was in the foster care system growing up, and he's got some horrific stories to tell. I'm not gonna talk about everything he told me. 'Cause I don't want to put his business out there like that. But yeah, he's told me some pretty horrific things happened to him while he was in foster care. So yeah. So a lot of these people that have been in foster care, they got some stories to tell. Being bounced from one home to the next is not good because not every foster parent is doing it for the right reasons. Not all of them are loving. They all don't have loving intentions. You got some that's not for the right things. You got some abusers out there. You got some molesters out there. And the system needs to do a better job of screening people. And they can screen and they can check off all the boxes and pass all the clearances and everything and then still wind up being abusive and stuff like that. And so yeah, I'd rather see I don't want to see any child, whether it be a black child or white child, being bounced from one home to the next in a foster care situation. I'd rather see a child in a loving, stable home with either one or two parents than to see them being bounced from one home to the next. Because you got to remember, our children are our future. We have to remember our children are our future. So, you know, whatever happens to them in their childhood, they got to go out into society one day. And so, whatever happens to them in their childhood, we don't want them going out here and causing problems and anything in society because they was bounced from one foster home to the next and they dealt with a lot of abuse and trauma. So our children are our future. So I'd rather see either whether it be a black child or a white child grow up in a stable home, loving home, than to be bounced from one foster home to the next, dealing with all kinds of trauma. I couldn't imagine this sweet little princess. I couldn't imagine that sweet little princess enduring any kind of abuse. I could not imagine. She is just so adorable. I encourage you guys to go check their channel out. It's called the Schroeder family. I think if I think I'm pronouncing their right name right. I encourage you guys to check them out and check Holding It Down out. But sometimes you got to have a little bit of an open mind. Um, yeah. Do I think every white person should adopt black children? Not necessarily, but sometimes, um, for this with this particular family here, sometimes you do have some loving families out there. You do have some very very loving family, people out there that really and they seem to really really love this little girl, and she seems so happy and secure with them, and she living the life of Riley. They take her places. She been in more places than me. She's very well traveled. I wish they would adopt me. Maybe I'm up for adoption. Maybe I can be the adoptive grandmother. There you go. But anywho, uh, go ahead. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section about transracial adoption. Um, do you feel that do you think that what's in the best interest of the child to be in a stable, loving home regardless of race, or do you definitely think that black children should be placed with black people, you know, regardless of the situation? But keep in mind that not a lot of black people are adopting black children. So keep that in mind. So that's something to think about. A lot of black children get stuck in the system. So that's something to keep in mind. So go ahead and hit that like. Let me know what your thoughts are. Go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell. And until the next video, you guys